All right, welcome back. The fires are out, but the lawsuits have been filed now against SDG&E, claiming that the utility company was negligent in starting and sparking two of last month's fires. A local attorney has filed lawsuits saying that SDG&E failed to clear the vegetation around the power poles there, saying that it both caused the Witch Creek fire and the Rice Canyon fires. Witnesses say before the fire, the Santa Ana winds caused those tree branches to slam into the power lines, sending sparks flying. SDG&E says they have done everything according to state and federal law. And with more on this is James Frantz, one of the lawyers involved in this case. He's joining us to talk about what is going on. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about why the case, why you filed this. In more detail, what did you find in your preliminary investigation?
Well, preliminarily, we found that they had trees and brush growing right up through the power lines that weren't cut back as they claim that they did. And they haven't been doing that. If they had been doing that, there wouldn't be a fire. There wouldn't have been the sparks on the bushes below the lines that caused the fire. And we have eyewitnesses as that's what happened.
Your eyewitnesses say that CAL FIRE is still investigating the causes of those fires, correct?
They are.
Well, actually, CAL FIRE has said that the spark started the Rice fire for sure and could have very well started the Witch Creek blaze as well. They've already determined that the sparks did start that. So the question is, you know, how much should they have cleared and how much was cleared at the time?
Well, there wasn't enough cleared. That's the bottom line. We know from the pictures that we've seen that they had brush growing right up, even through the lines, and trees right up through the area where the lines were. And that's against the law, really.
All right. We have a statement, actually, from SDG&E that they gave us yesterday, and we wanted to put that up. And we just wanted to put this out there that they maintain they operate the system safely in compliance with the state and federal laws. At the time of the fires, the power lines were in compliance with the laws and regulations. And they say that the extreme conditions sparked more than 20 fires in Southern California, including hurricane-forced winds, and that created a huge hazard for all of us, including our electrical system. And they go on to say that no system can be completely protected from such severe weather. So basically they're saying that they did what they could to comply with federal and state law, and that basically the weather conditions created this.
Well, that's a generic excuse. I haven't seen any evidence that they did what they should have done in the area where the Rice fire started. So I think they're completely incorrect in that statement. The investigation so far has showed that the sparks started the fire from the lines in the area of where the lines were. They had not cut back the trees. They had not cut back the brush. They knew it was a high fire zone. They knew there's typically Santa Ana winds in the area. They could have done a lot more to be a public utility to protect the public here.
Right now you're representing a couple of different individuals whose homes were damaged in the fire, but you're looking to expand that.
Well, we have filed a class action, and if we get certified by the court, then we will represent everyone that lost their home in the Rice fire and the Witch Creek fire.
Yeah. So what would this mean? This would mean that the liability for these property damage and the property would go to SDG&E. They would have to pay the bills instead of the insurance companies?
Well, who will pay the bill is who is at fault for the incident. And it's our belief that San Diego Gas and Electric is at fault for the Rice fire and the Witch Creek fire. And so they should bear the responsibility and bear the payment, and it shouldn't go to the ratepayers. It should come out of their corporate profits. And we're going to do our best to make sure that happens.
All right. In the meantime, are you encouraging them to go out and clear more brush? What is going on in terms of practical matters?
I'm encouraging them to do their job, as they say they are doing, and that is clear the brush and put line separators. When the lines are close, there's requirements about putting line separators so the lines don't hit each other and cause sparks.
Are there any other details that you can tell us at this time that you may have observed following the fires, or is that something you're going to wait for until you go to court?
There are other details, and CAL FIRE is looking into those right now, and we'll follow up with you when we find those out.
All right, James Frantz, thanks for coming in and sharing with us this morning.
Thank you.
Do appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
All right.
Well, you might want to think twice before you plan on surfing in Mexico.